I'm just thinking of a meat robot.
Listen,
sausage robot. Yeah, a big meat and cheese robot.
Throughout my entire life.
I am smorgasbord.
Oh, God.
Throughout my entire life, it's been smorgasbord. What's happening, pals, new and old? I'm your host, Parker Ryle, and this is a very special edition of the third episode of the PALS Podcast.
It's the sick edition.
The sick edition.
The sick edition.
Ryan and I are coming down with
As
the
in
crow.
we are sick.
But we work
nasty
so
bros.
hard here at PALS. We just had to do this show.
I'm excited still.
PALS.
It's gonna be a good time.
Podcast is a weekly podcast where a smorgasbord. Thank you. Of friends
go.
come together to talk and ask questions about a specific topic in question.
We're all totally prepared.
No. Here's the deal. Is that PALS is honestly like a flaming bag of dog shit where you never know what's going to happen, what it's going to smell
And
like.
it smells.
I can give some damn good answers, though.
Questions? Nah.
But I'm ready to answer whatever.
So the man to my left, let's do some intros. Ryan Hovland, he was here on the last episode. The coolest kid in the school. He's wearing a fucking New Orleans jersey
it's a
today.
vintage Chris Paul jersey. I don't even like Chris Paul, so I'm pretty fake. I think he's kind of a little.
No, but the jersey's dope, though.
But yeah,
so.
no, the jersey's
Got
jersey's
some nice
throwback.
colors.
Colors.
Yeah.
There's colors in it.
It's nice and blue and
Yeah.
yellow. That throwback New Orleans before they changed their mascot. So yeah,
Definitely things I know all about.
yeah, of
Beast.
course, sports guys.
And across the table from me, he's back. You know him. It's Mitchell Kennard Francis, everybody.
What's going on? What's going on?
My boy.
Mitchell,
Oh,
you were on the
my
first
boy.
episode. It's been an episode since you've been here.
It has been an episode since
Lots
I've
have
been here.
changed.
Oh, I'm excited to be back.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's
No, nothing is different.
Just early in
I'm
the day.
literally sitting in the same spot that I was
You
sitting.
are. And we have a newbie to my right. Mitchell Guinan, everybody. A
baby.
freshman in the
That's
school.
for baby.
Oh,
Stop.
babes.
Thanks.
So
Thanks so
cute.
much.
Get in that mic.
Thanks
Get in-
for having
there
me
you
on
go.
here. I'm not used to the microphone situation.
He's not even a '90s kid. You're a
No.
2000.
You're not
No,
even a
no,
90s
no.
kid?
Hey,
Oh
I'm a
my
90s
God.
kid by
99.
2 months.
By 2 months.
Oh,
ago.
hey, listen,
So-
I'm 99
He's still
too. In
he's
my
still
defense, I'm 99 as well.
I have no respect.
I got
That's
the
What are
good
you?
for
Are
2000
you
kids. For
97?
2000 kids, I'm sorry.
Are you 96 or
I'm
97?
97.
Mike,
97?
Abby,
you are.
Allie, they're out of here.
Yeah, no respect.
Are they
Goodness
2000 kids?
gracious.
They're 2000.
The twins
Oh my
are?
God, the twins?
We had them on this show and they were 2000s kids?
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Time to delete it.
Time to
You have
delete
to
You
delete
have
that
the
episode
same, you have
right
the same
now.
audience as Jade Paul now. So.
Oh no!
That's ridiculous.
That's freaking horrible. No. Mitchell, let's talk about Mitchell Guinan here. And
okay.
this is going to be hard because we have Mitchell Francis across the table. We have Mitchell Guinan to my right. So we're going to try and we'll try and keep them separate. Francis
Yeah.
and Mitchell.
A lot of people at the school call me Francis, so it's fine.
I'm
Like, that
sorry,
makes
honey.
sense.
I know you don't
Guinan-
like it, but I could call you that other name that you don't like.
Can you not?
Wait, what is that?
No, stop. Are you kidding me? You're
I
going to
won't
bring this
say
up
it.
right
I
now?
won't say it. Not for the listeners. Maybe on the 100th episode.
On the 100th episode, get ready. 100th episode.
So, like-
oh, Jesus. 100th episode.
On the 100th episode, you're going to have a very
On
special
the
edition.
100th episode, we'll reveal my secret nickname
I
that
need to
I
know this off
absolutely
air.
hate.
Off air.
Okay.
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 But then on the 100th episode, we can only call him by that.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's
so
fair, yeah.
that means I have to be on the 100th episode then.
Well, you've secured your spot.
Okay, I like that.
Ryan, you're gonna work a little harder for
yeah.
it.
I have a secret nickname too. If that means I'm on here for 99 more episodes.
I'll reveal one letter.
It doesn't mean I'm on
half a
it.
letter each time.
It doesn't mean I'm on. We'd run out of letters.
No, Mitchell Guinan is a freshman that the second I met this little kid, and I can't say little because he's only
You guys
like
were born in the same
Exactly.
year. Okay.
No. We instantly recognized that we are extremely similar. We both do this voice that nobody else does.
Are you talking about
talking about this one?
This one?
This one?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
So here's the deal. We've hacked into the mainframe, and we've discovered some things.
Yeah.
What did we
We're
discover?
gonna miss some key information if you don't understand what's going on right here. So
Ryan, do you want to leave?
Nobody's gonna know who's. Wait, is this the same guy doing the same fucking voice? What's going on?
you bet your ass.
No, it's cool though. Who had it first though? Who had the voice first?
We just kind of. I don't think any one of us had it first.
I noticed that Parker had it, and I was like, oh, wow,
I
this
do that.
boy has some voices in him.
How does one
And
attain this
inside of
special
me.
power?
Yeah.
Okay, should we? I don't want to ruin it. It's kind of a secret.
I did
So what you do is you close the shit out of your throat. Just like that, right? And then you just talk. You just
talk. No.
You really,
No.
Francis.
You really gotta
No,
close.
we're not going. We're not going.
You gotta close your esophagus.
Ryan, we gotta
Leah,
make our own voice.
Dude,
You guys can't do voices. Come on.
I can when I'm alone. and then when
And they're in my head.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They
They
tell
me
me
what
to
to
do things.
I say,
Like
don't
wash the dishes.
like Kill Parker.
No.
ASMR. This is your
no.
Is this the ASMR?
This is the ASMR show. I've cracked. Oh no. Listen, this
Wait.
is. Let me crack a can of everything.
No, I'm gonna give you. Oh, are you cracking one? I was.
Ooh, that's a good noise. I like that.
You got it everywhere.
Wait.
It
I
did
like
get
that.
it.
Hold on, we gotta do the can tap.
Oh yeah, tap your cans.
Give me like a nice big slurp.
Okay, I'm ready.
What happens when I
it's
run,
gonna sound
when I
awful.
run my
Somebody
can
so
just
sorry.
left. Somebody
on
just
the
left.
microphone like this?
Stop rubbing it on the microphone. Jesus. All right, let's get into the show.
Yeah,
please.
let's do it.
All right,
This
so
is not
the topic that I'm bringing to today's table is next semester. Boys, we have just wrapped up the the fall semester of sophomore year, senior year, and freshman year.
Fuck.
I know, right? We're done. We are officially on Christmas break.
Yes.
It's Saturday today. It'll be Thursday when this comes out, which means that people will still be on break when this show airs.
Oh, nice.
So it's the perfect time to talk about next semester.
Merry
We like
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You know what would
Christmas.
also be perfect to talk about in relation to this?
Huh.
Well, wait, I don't know if you're doing an episode like this already,
All right,
but
hold on. Whisper it. You two bullshit for 2 minutes. We're gonna whisper.
Yeah. So Francis, it's going great.
another episode.
I think it's a wonderful pleasure.
You're
Yeah.
done talking.
There you go.
So we've
That was
decided.
a good job,
Thank you.
Mitch. I appreciate your efforts.
Stop.
The thing that Ryan has taught me, taught me my ass.
I've got you a lot.
You have taught me a lot. Considerable amount. And I'm gonna cry. No, Ryan asked if we were doing New Year's resolutions. Nah, that's a separate episode that's being recorded after this.
I'm sad, boy.
Sorry, brother.
Okay.
So we're just talking about things that we want to do next semester. So
Word.
my original thought was, let's talk about classes, let's talk about projects, and if we don't know what we want to do, let's fucking brainstorm.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Ooh, I would
So
brainstorm.
who's got a first kind of? Where do we want to go first? Who's gonna?
I
bring
mean, I have a
something?
class that I'm really excited to take. Actually.
Mitchell, bring it to the table.
Oh boy. Okay, so
I'm just realizing there's LaCroix that I opened everywhere. It's just
Yeah.
look at all
And
this.
then
a little
nobody's
sticky,
gonna be drinking
for
that
sure.
either.
No, I
That's
don't
gonna
drink it.
You know, LaCroix's go flat in like 10 minutes.
Looks like I'm chugging.
Like, so you got, yeah, okay, chug him down. Don't get too tipsy though. I mean, those things.
It's LaCroix,
Loaded
and it's
with alcohol.
It's 1 in the afternoon.
Listen, we live our best life here.
It's a PALS podcast.
It's the
All right, well, what's
PALS
this
podcast.
class though?
Okay,
What-
so this class, Ryan's taking it.
Oh, okay.
Parker is also taking it.
I am.
Me.
No.
You're not taking the
Mitch,
class.
you are not taking it. Not yet. Anyway,
Okay.
it could
Will
at
it
the
still
same
be
time
here?
not be offered though. But that's a different topic. Anyway, I'm taking film directing with the wonderful
Ooh.
Sharon Teo.
God, I love her.
And Queen, love her to
She's
death.
amazing.
She is so smart and amazing. But I'm really excited for this class because
yeah, why?
I had a bit of a mid-college life career crisis.
Oh, sounds,
Yeah,
the
sounds,
favorite.
About a month ago.
sounds horrible.
I came into college thinking that I wanted to be a DP, and
And you could.
Which
and
you
I very
still
well
could.
could.
Director
and I
of photography.
director
Thank
of
you.
photography.
Thank
for
you,
all
Ryan.
the people who
For all you
don't know what
noobs
that
out
means.
there. Am I
Director
right?
of photography, basically on film sets. I am the person in charge of all things camera and lighting. But well, I still am to a degree. I still have that knowledge base and that background, and that's what I first learned. But I have gotten very much into directing as of late, and I directed a film for
Yeah,
the
plug it.
final film.
Plug
well,
it,
the
baby.
final film for our film production 1 class that Parker and I were in this semester. Film's called When You've Finished Recording. I don't think it's gonna be anywhere watchable.
It might. Don't sell yourself
Well,
like
not
that.
by the time this posts.
Oh, hell no.
Not by the time this posts.
Because you
But
guys,
eventually, yes.
because you put copyright 2019 on it.
I
didn't
did
you?
put copyright
Ah.
2019 on
The
it.
Film Pro 1 final are we talking about
Yes,
here?
we're talking
Yeah,
about Film Pro 1 final. So basically, in Film Pro 1, you make a series of films, and then at the end, you make like a final film, which is like your big thick boy film, which is like
Still a short film.
still a short film.
The full runtime black to black of mine is 2 minutes and 31 seconds.
Holy shit! I didn't know it was that short.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's fine though because okay, so the reason why
It
it's
still
not
tells
gonna,
an effective
I thought
story.
it was done. What is there left to?
well, there's nothing left to do. I just don't know if it's going to be available online because there's
you're
like
trying to
certain
do-
like festivals
Trying to do a
that
festival.
I'm
I thought
probably
it was already on YouTube.
No.
no.
How did I see it then?
I showed it to you. I thought, or maybe
I thought.
I definitely haven't posted it anywhere. You might have saw frames.
I saw frames.
You might have saw
on
frames
Twitter. I
on
think.
I linked it.
Instagram.
Or Instagram, sure.
But anyway, so yeah, it's probably not going to be available to post anywhere because a bunch of people were like, "You should submit this to things," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll submit it to things."
You're like, shit.
There's
okay,
a specific fun fact. There's a specific film festival in
Smorgasbord?
Houston. There's a smorgasbord. No, there's a film festival in Houston specifically for films that are less than 3 minutes long.
Oh,
really?
God. I didn't know that.
And I didn't know things like that existed.
Got
And I
it.
started doing more research because at first I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like submit it to
Yeah.
things. But then I started doing research and there's lots of films, like there's like non-sync festivals and there's lots of film festivals that fit the criteria of my film perfectly.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I might take it to some things. But anyway, so yeah.
Nice.
It's just it'll be a cool resume builder
So-
if it gets into stuff. But anyway, so long story
Directing.
short, I directed this film. I had a really good experience. I think it turned out pretty good. People seem to like it from what I've shown it to people.
It
Thought it was
definitely
great.
buttered my biscuit on both sides.
Yeah.
Very
Anyway,
visual.
so
Uh-huh.
I very much enjoyed that experience.
Directing.
Directing specifically, yes. And I want to continue to challenge myself in that
Yes.
regard and take on projects that are more difficult. Because at the end of the day, this is a 2 minute and 30-second film. It was challenging in the fact that we had lots of different locations, but less challenging in the fact that it was so short and so condensed. It only took 1 day to
Yeah.
shoot. I want to challenge myself to do more things, and that's why I wanted to take the film directing class. I'm gonna start doing more passion projects next semester.
Ooh,
I already have some other
we'll
things.
get into those.
I have some other things lined up actually, but I'm just really kind of taking it head on because I told myself I was like, I'm in college now. If I don't take this opportunity that I'm spending money to get an education, if I don't
Yeah.
take this opportunity to explore these different interests that I have,
You're never gonna do it.
what's the point? I'm just wasting
Yeah.
my time here
Yeah.
then.
And especially if you don't start doing it now, when are
Yeah.
you ever gonna do it? In the real world, it's like, where you don't have time to make passion projects,
Yeah.
directing, probably not.
Yeah.
So that's cool though. That's
Yeah,
really
I
interesting taking that as a sophomore because I took that as a junior. So
really.
yeah,
Yeah, Mitchell and I this has been
Francis, you mean?
Francis.
Francis.
Thank you. God, I hate this.
Oh, okay.
You two are never on
We have
again.
to do this every time, Coach.
Yeah.
Every
100th
time.
We gotta come back
episode.
every week. for this.
Well, it's tough because I'm gonna call you Mitch, like just like out of like force of
And
habit,
that's okay.
because Mitch Fay goes as Mitch, and so like the
Oh.
other Mitch that I know that's not me is Mitch, and so when I see it,
As
it's
long as we
weird
keep
because I feel like if I say
calling you
Mitchell,
Francis.
yeah,
Yeah,
'cause I feel
that's
like if
fine.
I say Mitchell, I feel like I'm referring to
talking about
myself,
yourself.
and so
Yeah.
it's weird. So I feel like I'll be the only person that calls you Mitch.
Well, I think it would be strange if I referred to myself as Guinan. So I think it's okay that you refer to yourself
Okay,
as
that's fine.
Mitchell.
All right, Francis.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyways.
So Francis and I have had this conversation. We sat down in the mill.
I started a while back,
Yeah.
like over a month ago.
It's probably 2 months now.
Yeah.
I think it was closer to September. It
Yeah.
was the end of
Like
September.
at the end of
Yeah.
early October, yeah.
He and I hadn't talked for a while. I mean, we see each other every day, but we haven't talked.
Yeah.
Like had a good
Yeah.
bro
little
conversation.
romantic conversation.
Yeah,
for
exactly. So we get up early in the morning, 9, and we go and we go down to the mill, and we sat in this tiny table, and I'm not a tiny guy, and so we were in this.
It was
tiny,
the only one open.
It
I remember
really was,
correctly.
yes.
The mill is always popping.
and we sat down because and I think I've told you this before, but I felt like Mitchell Francis, God, was nervous to tell me about this at first because of one reason, and that's because I also am interested in directing.
But that's completely fine.
No, it is, and we talked about it, but I felt, and I feel like he like felt bad coming to me with this, and I was like, no, and I told him, I was like, listen, I love you, and I want you to do whatever the fuck makes you happy. If DP isn't what makes you happy,
Yeah.
then and you feel like you, and he told me, he's like, well, I don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like I get the creative freedom that a director gets when I'm being the DP.
You get far less, and there's
Yes.
far less opportunity to like be invested in. Like as a DP, you just have to kind of accept that you're not going to love every project you work on.
Right.
Whereas a director,
You
that's
better.
totally different. And I feel like, and disclaimer, I don't like despise being a DP. Like I don't
No, we know.
despise. I never want to touch a camera again. That's not it. It's just I had this little thing in me that my dad had told me like over a year ago. He was like, "You'd be a really good director. Like you're really good at communicating your ideas and articulating them and allowing other people to see the same vision that you see." And I was like, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense actually. Like I never really thought about it that way." And I didn't really pursue anything about that. And then I don't know, this semester just like this little fire got lit inside me that was
Hell
like,
yeah.
"You need to try this. Like you need
You
to try this.
should, and
need
you
to try
are.
this." And I'm going to keep pursuing it until I either decide that it's not what I want to do or I decide that it is for sure what I want to do. And I'm never going to lose the DP side of me, but like
See, I think a lot of people make mistakes in film school or just like when they're in school in general. They put themselves in a box for a career.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. Like Mitch, or fucking Francis, you don't necessarily have to label yourself because a lot of ways that you will get these jobs as a director is coming from being a DP. So like it's easy to market yourself as both, and then double your chances to get hired for something. So like just do both, and then like see what happens.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely.
and
I
I'm
would
going to continue
for sure say that like your background of being a DP is like a brilliant foundation for like
it will
being
help
a director.
so much, and just communicating with the DP,
Especially like just it's a visual medium.
Totally.
So like being in that world of visual art is really like,
I mean, that's just like
You're on top
Ryan.
of it.
Ryan and I were in the lab and we were talking about what was it? What was that piece of equipment that we were talking about the other day?
I've got like 12 hours of sleep this week, so like I have no idea. Some people are like, "Oh yeah, dude, you remember like the other day we were talking?" I'm like,
No.
Like I was like,
Not at
I
all.
saw you this week. I was like,
they all just blend together.
exactly, dude.
You
like,
have a name. I just can't quite figure it out.
dude, it's the whole
No,
week's
we were
been
talking
one
about
day.
that piece of equipment that you wanted for Christmas, and it was the
my director's viewfinder.
The director's viewfinder.
Oh, wet.
Man,
I'm sorry.
that
dude.
thing
big
spiced
boy.
me up.
It is amazing.
It's really sweet because I just use one on my
want
phone right now.
Yeah,
I just have like
not
app on my
nearly-
phone.
Not
It's
even
not the
close to
same. It's
yeah,
not the same.
oh my god, it'd be amazing.
So anyway, Mitch and I were having this conversation, and we left feeling pretty good. And I think
We did. The reason why I was nervous to tell you is not because, well, first of all, one, I didn't want you to think that I was like, oh, like, I'm going to be a director now too because everyone else is going to be a director. And like, that was my first word. It's like, Parker's going to look at me and be like, you fucking asshole. And the other thing too is like, I know we had already talked about like doing projects together where I was going to shoot and you were going to direct.
make
and
Parker's ass shoot.
And I didn't know how to tell him that I was still interested, but not as interested,
Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, it didn't just light
And-
a fire in me like it used
Yeah.
to.
And I think that that's something that you and I are still working out and still trying to figure out of like what we're gonna like how that's gonna work. Because I mean, yeah, we did say that we would do things, and obviously like that's not gonna be in the same capacity, which is fine.
And we're still going to do things. I mean, you and I have already talked
Yes.
about, which we'll probably talk about at some point during the show, but you and I have already talked about things that we're going to do next summer and like over
God,
spring.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
And
Not over
like,
spring break, but.
and this is, I don't know if I can say this out loud. I'm gonna say it out loud anyway. Like, you want me to AD your advanced project, and
That
I'm
is true.
super
That is
honored
true.
by that.
I did ask you to do that.
because I thought I did a decent job.
The reason I asked you is because of your work on Corner Piece, which is another film that was produced
at the Johnny Carson
School of Theater and Film. But he was the AD on Corner Piece, and I thought he did
A little bit of a niche
a
episode.
fine
It really
job.
It's
Alright.
it's an inside look into our program.
It
I
is,
feel
if
like.
you're interested at all.
I'm gonna write that down because that's what I'm gonna
you know,
label
if you
this.
can make tags on whatever medium you post this in filmmaking tag, that'd be really. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's
People would
a lot of
understand.
insight.
Yeah.
A lot of insight.
So, but the thing is like with my proposed, it's not even proposed, it's prospective, I guess, at this point. I
Yeah.
don't have a freaking clue what I'm doing next year.
For your advanced project.
Yeah. There's just a lot of valuables,
Oh, and just
or not
yeah.
valuables, variables
Yeah.
that need to be worked out that I have no idea about.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't even know if I'm gonna. I don't know anything.
Well, the Carson
Neither.
Center provides so many question marks.
Yes.
It really does.
You have to fill in so many bubbles.
Yeah.
So that's like another conversation that Mitchell and I are having. Is like, yes, I'm gonna AD for him, but it's like I don't know exactly what I can give him
Yeah.
yet. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard. It is something that I love that he's taking this step, but it's also hard for both of us at the same
So-
time trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
So wait, even if he asked you to shoot something, you would
No, I would shoot.
Oh, okay.
I told you that.
You told me that, but it was a time thing. Remember where?
Well, okay, so specifically the conversation I remember it being is he asked me if I would shoot for him, and I said would, pending it was
after
like
yours?
2 or 3 weeks either before or after mine.
And that makes sense because the director needs to prepare.
Right.
Yeah, anything prior would be really
And
tough.
especially
because those are two pivotal roles, so you got to spend a lot of time.
And especially
focusing.
considering that basically the way that like our advanced projects works, like you're basically directing, shooting, and producing. Like you're doing
the two people whose names will be in the two big people who kind of propose the project are producing. So like usually it's the director and the shooter.
Yeah.
Or but it could be also like if you're editing. Like I know Grant for Impact, you know, he's editing the thing and he was on set as like just helping out. But he'll be labeled as a producer because he did help with a lot of that.
Yeah, totally.
So
absolutely.
Back to directing class. A long-winded spin. No, I think that it's really exciting. I think it's going to be good for both of us to just
I'm excited.
sit down and, because the only thing I've ever directed at this school was, and not even at this school, but over the summer was theater.
Yeah.
And that's like my background. So coming and actually doing film. Oh yeah. Unfortunately. I mean, it's not unfortunate because it was a good start, but I also have never done anything with film.
Yeah.
So
you'll get your chances. It's
yeah,
coming up.
and I think directing class is going to be good for that.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think, and because it's just a scene, you know, they're just scenes.
Small scenes.
Yeah. So it's not like worrying about this big creative outlook vision, you know.
But you also have to edit it.
Right.
And you also have to, it's just
Dip your
it's a lot
toes
of
in the
work.
water.
Yeah. It's a great experience for sure, especially doing it like before your advanced project. That is awesome. Well, kind of, right? Is it next semester?
Next semester.
Next semester I'll be
So
there.
we'll have experience.
I specifically talked to Sharon. I was like, I
mean,
want,
that's the way it should be.
I want to take this class, one, because I'm interested, but two, I want to take it before my advanced project because I know I'm doing something different with my advanced project than I thought I was originally going to do, and so I need as much experience as possible to.
That's how it should be. I don't know why they don't do it that way.
I don't know either. It's
whatever.
but the thing is, Ryan, is that so much is changing right now with the new school and whatnot that
Yeah.
Just trying to get
Mitchell guided.
Whoever's doing that.
Mitchell's the guinea pig of the new school.
They are
First
kind of
class.
they are the guinea pigs.
They are.
They really are.
Well, we're like a hybrid too, so it's like we're still with the film classes and everything, but we have to switch over to the.
That's so bizarre.
I mean, we don't have to, but it's like why would
Most of you
not?
are. I can't think.
Because there's so much
Tristan
opportunity
isn't.
there.
Tristan isn't.
Anthony isn't.
Anthony, he has so many
Yeah,
credits.
he has a lot of credits, so that boy's got to stay. And it's-
All right, so Mitchell and I have talked about the directing class that we're looking forward to next semester. What about you two?
what am I looking forward to?
You're taking one class.
No.
next
Next
year.
semester,
That's next year.
Next
my bad.
semester,
Yeah,
I'm taking 15 credit hours. I'm looking forward to maybe wrapping up. I don't know if I'm gonna be done yet or not. Like the way that my classes are currently constructed, I could finish next semester and graduate. But only reason I would not is because I would need to maintain one class to maintain my job at Husker Vision, shooting all the football and basketball stuff.
Right.
So. Yeah, so I'm thinking about that.
Is that the main reason that you're kind of thinking of staying? Is doing that?
Yeah, definitely. Because what I want to do maybe after school is like be hired in like the social media department, maybe at like a different university. So like the longer I work at Husker Vision, the better it looks on my resume, and the more connections that I can make.
Can build off of that.
And my boss knows literally like people from all over the country. So like getting in tight with him and doing good work for him will make him more likely to like be like, yo, hey, I'll hook it up.
Dude, that sounds great.
Yeah. So that's what I'm banking on, kind of. So just, am I excited for that next year? Sure. I mean, I'm really sick of school. I'm just like,
No, I know you are. You've worked like this entire week. You've been in the Ross editing and After Effecting.
I know what I'm saying. Oh, there we go. Hey,
there it is.
I'm taking a motion graphics class for, a digital visual effects class actually.
Ooh. And who's it with? Is it with Steve?
Yeah.
Steve.
So,
Love Steve.
you know, like, there's so much crazy shit that you can do in the edit now. Like, if you like know how to do the things necessary, like while you're shooting, you can it can make it so much better in post because you can just have so much more creativity and have so much more possibilities for like how you want to make your vision come to life.
Okay. So what is this like? What are you?
I think we're learning
what are you
mostly
doing in this class?
After Effects, so Adobe After Effects.
Isn't that what you're doing in this class now?
Yeah, digital motion graphics now, but it's the next step. So we might get a little bit into 3D. I don't know.
Dude, that'd be insane.
Yeah.
That would be crazy, actually.
Because like it's so important. So like learning that to take the next step as a filmmaker, it's crazy. Like, have you seen like any like music videos like Sicko Mode music video. You guys seen that?
No.
That is a dope music
It's
video.
a crazy
That is
music video.
one of the best directed music videos I've seen.
So
like,
it's insane, and like just seeing like what you can do for visual effects, it just opens so many new doors for being a
Okay.
director. Because you can think like right now or before I took this class, I was so limited in like my vision because like I was like thinking everything black and white. But now it's like color, baby.
Oh,
You know, it's like all
color,
these
baby.
effects. It's like, oh, I can set you on fire. Like,
Yeah.
sure, I'll set. So I've been doing that. I've been setting it on fire.
How did it turn out?
Oh, it turned out dope.
Do you want to pimp this project a little bit?
Nah. I want to keep it kind of low key now. I'm
Okay,
gonna post
okay.
it on my social media and stuff.
Oh, so look out,
Yeah, a
pals.
little teaser for a new short called
Ooh.
Influencer.
I like that.
Ooh.
So, pals, you can find Ryan's little pimp your own social. I'm not doing
I don't
this
even
for
know my
you.
own social media shit. It's just Ryan Hovland 32.
Look him up.
Instagram,
It'll
Twitter.
be up there soon, right?
Yeah, my Twitter handle is Purpose Tour 2016. So that's me. It might
a
look like a
recent
meme account.
addition
Yeah,
to your social media.
My new
wallet.
Twitter account. Yeah, 2018.
Jesus.
Joined.
Stop. Speaking of social media, pals, you can find us on @palsmeanpals_ on both Twitter and Instagram.
At soyboy.com or,
Nope.
or
Soy
Podbean,
Boy?
whatever. Podbean.com.
Those two are not even similar.
Soy Boy.
Soyboys.com.
Is that a superhero, Soy Boy?
No, they're anti-heroes.
With the power. He shoots like sushi rolls
shoots
out of his
softness out of
hands.
his
Anyone gets in their way,
He shoots
sushi's
compliments out of his hands.
You're hot.
You're beautiful.
You're looking great. You have a
No,
great
you're not
smile.
hot. You're beautiful.
getting. You breathe
So-
wasabi.
Wow, aren't you a gentleman?
He's a soy boy.
He's a soy boy. All right, Mitchell, what class are you looking forward to next semester?
I'm taking scripts and production, and that'll be interesting. You guys seem to like that one a lot, so
false.
that'll be great. But also, I got into a basic photography class at the
Really?
journalism school
Nice.
instead.
The J school.
I took that. Yeah.
I also
Yeah,
tried to
and
take
so,
that, but it
um,
didn't work with my schedule.
I'm excited for that
Yeah.
because that's not going towards anything. It's kind of my free class that wasn't.
Okay.
Well, and it's credits too.
Yeah.
I mean, you need like a base amount of credits to even graduate, so it's just adding
Yeah,
onto
it
that
was,
credit total.
It was kind of like an extra class that I'm taking, and I'm really excited to like be able. Because the great thing about like coming to film school, I guess you'd say, is that you get to work on the things for school. Because
Yeah.
in high school, it's like, hey,
We have to do this on our own.
we have to do
Extracurricular,
we have
yeah.
to do this on our own free time, which is shortened because we have the other stuff. But it's
Yeah.
Go
like,
from like 8 to freaking 3.
yeah,
Every. I was like,
I don't even know how we did that.
Yeah, everyone
like
think
if you
back
think
to,
about
like-
that, like we did 8 hours of school 5 days a week
and
for
then
4 years.
extracurriculars afterwards.
I can barely get
Yeah.
up before 11 a.m., dude. I
like getting to my 9:30 class is hard, bro.
it rarely happens to me.
What the fuck is wrong with us when we can't make it to a 9:30 class?
I literally had to get almost on my knees and say, "Sir,
I'm in a car accident.
Okay, shut up. That's a different story." I had to say, "Sir, I know I've missed 9 classes,
Can I still
but
pass?
please pass me."
What class
do you
are we
mean you
talking
won't give me
about?
extra credit? What?
Are you saying you won't round my 63% up
That's
to an
an
A?
I need.
That's a fat round.
But yeah, okay.
Like if you think about it, my high school schedule
Yeah.
during the fall was always the craziest. I had 6 a.m. band rehearsal,
Mm.
and then I had school started at 8. We got out at 3:34. We had an extra 4 minutes for passing period.
sounds
It was ridiculous.
stupid.
No,
Then-
ours was like that too.
Yeah. Then I had mock trial rehearsal from 5 to 7. From 7 to 9, I had 1-act rehearsal. And then I got up and did the same thing the next day.
See, that's
did you
that's
fucking
even
eat?
crazier.
I ate between 3:34 and 5.
That's even crazier.
God.
My first 2 years of high school, it was especially in the winter. We had baseball workouts at 6. Started at 6. I mean, we had to be at the school at like 5:45.
Yeah.
Go to that. That was like, and then school started at 8, and we got out at like 3:27.
Yeah,
or something
some
like that.
weird
Something weird
time.
because of the passing periods or whatever. And then we'd have workouts again after school.
God, right?
We'd have 2 sets of workouts. We'd have like skill specific
yeah.
workouts in the morning, and then our lifting sessions after school.
I'm getting PTSD.
And then you go, and then you go home,
And then you come
and
back.
you eat, and you do homework, and you go to bed, and then you come back, and it's like I don't even know how we used to do that. When now I'm like, oh man, 11A class. Can I skip it
today? Mitchell and I had on Monday and Wednesday this semester. Mitchell and I both took this class that was at noon. And there were days where we would just say, "Hey, let's just skip it."
Okay, but the cards were in our favor to allow us to skip. Like we could do the lessons. We could check into the attendance thing and do it from upstairs because it was in the same building. So.
This basically shows that Mitchell and I do not respect our own education.
Mitchell Francis, to be clear about that, I very much treasure the education I'm given.
Really hope my parents, who helped me pay for my education, are not listening right now.
I hope my mom's in here.
Mitchell Guinan was telling me he was the first one to show up today because you guys were, whatever.
Oh, goodness.
He shows up. I'm just giving you shit. He shows up and he was like, "Man, I had my last final yesterday." I was like, "Oh, how'd it go?" And he's like, "Well, I felt fine about it." He was like,
"It was hard.
I did the math and I did all the extra credit this semester. So basically, I could get a 60% on the final
and still end with an A." And I was like, "This guy."
Wouldn't it be nice?
You know, you gotta work hard and play hard. You know?
Here's the thing. I did a similar amount of math. I took a class by the fun title of Logic and Critical Thinking. I had to take this for my math credit.
I'm taking it next semester. I'm so scared. Scared.
Is it easy?
Here's the thing. Okay, let me explain though, because I
took fucking calculus.
So here's the thing. That was dumb. What you did? That's dumb. Don't do that. No, Logic and Critical Thinking. Okay, let me tell you though.
Yeah. Okay.
I did not buy the book. I did not do the homework.
This sounds like a bad start.
I managed to pass the course. First of all, you need to take a pass no pass. That's number one.
I've already done
take
that.
a pass no pass.
Yeah.
You take a pass no pass. It doesn't affect your GPA positively, but it also doesn't affect it negatively.
You only have to get a C, I think.
You have to get a 70.
Or is that a C?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had going into the final. I had a 76. Okay.
Oh,
now,
shit.
granted, I just bumped the mic. Now, granted, I think that's pretty good for not buying the book and not doing the homework.
That is pretty good.
How does that even freaking work then? Like, math classes usually are like 90% homework grades, right? No,
didn't grade the homework. That's number one.
What?
Homework wasn't graded. It was imperative, I think, to like getting a really good grade and like knowing this material.
Yeah.
So going into this final, I did the math. I have a 76. I have a 76. I needed to get at least a 51% on the final to pass the class.
Your boy Sweet
Gentlemen, I think I barely got a 51%.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him.
The only math he did in the course was to calculate how much he needed on.
See, that's supposed to be a joke, but you literally it's fact.
Okay, so we've spun away from Mitchell here.
Yes,
so
I'm sorry, Mitchell.
He's taking I think it's great that you're taking this photography class. It's especially good just to know the composition of images and stuff like that.
Camera settings,
Camera
ISO,
settings.
all that BS.
Someday when this show is recorded on camera, those things will be imperative.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be fun.
It'll be
I really want to
wonderful.
see. I want everybody to see our beautiful, your beautiful faces.
Oh, baby, thanks.
Get some couches
Here's
up
the
in
thing.
here.
I already
Yeah.
see Ryan's beautiful face every day.
Oh wow, I don't need to know why.
But okay, all right,
So Mitchell, then you're taking this scripts in production class.
Oh, yes.
Why? Before we rant about it, why are you excited for this class?
I am excited first because I haven't taken it, so apparently that is a factor in not liking the class. True. But
That's fine.
I'm really I'm not exactly sure what I want to do yet because I'm kind of a freshman. Maybe directing.
Yeah, I was
Kind
gonna
of
say
a
we
2000s
talked
kid.
about this.
Maybe directing.
Here's the thing.
Because
You've got all sorts of options.
Yeah.
So all sorts of time.
so
Lots of time.
I like to dabble in a lot of the different things. That's why
I
I'm
like to
thinking
dabble.
directing.
I like to dabble.
I like to go through all the different options and availabilities.
Right.
But I like writing. I like composition. I like DPing. I like just going through all of it. I like performing too.
Yeah.
You know, all these different things. So that's why I'm thinking directing. But scripts and like getting down and writing stuff, I think you have to absorb good art before you can make good art. So if I can look at these wonderful scripts and films, absorb it, maybe I can take some of that, pump it out through my digestive system, get some good stuff out there.
There it is.
Because if you're gonna direct stuff, I feel like no one's gonna just come to you with like a script or anything.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like you got to write a lot of your own stuff.
for sure.
If you're thinking about like on the topic of absorbing art, next year you need to make it your mission to take a Wheeler Winston Dixon class.
Oh,
Take
Wheeler
a film history
Winston
class.
Dixon.
What
The
is
man-
Wheeler Dixon. Yes.
Literally, you guys can, for the listeners, you can look him up on IMDb. He's on there.
And
but he
Wikipedia.
is one of the most,
And Vimeo.
and Vimeo, he's one of the most renowned film studies professors in the entire country. I mean, the amount of
Not
stuff.
just Nebraska.
Not-
the
no, the entire-
country.
No, I love that man.
Yeah, the amount of stuff that this guy knows about cinema is unreal. And some of the stuff that he would talk about in the movies that we watch in class this semester, I started implementing right away. Like some of the like things that he would talk about, I did that in the film that I just made.
Yes.
And it's
like,
not even necessarily technical things either.
No,
It's emotional
it's
things.
emotional
It's like
art
how
things.
these filmmakers from the 20s all the way through the today implement certain things to convey emotion.
Yeah.
wow?
Dude,
The man is okay. The book for the class
Yeah.
is written by the guy.
He wrote the textbook,
Yeah.
and it was like
Him and his wife.
it was
right.
Who's also a film
who's
studies
also a
professor.
also a film studies professor.
yeah.
At the school.
They both are. They're just their knowledge base is so high. So on the topic of absorbing art, you need to take as many of his classes. He literally inspired me to. Him and the combination of Ryan inspired me to get a film studies minor.
Hey!
Remember when we talked
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that?
no, because I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm getting a film
But
studies
it's like
Those
as
classes
artists-
fill up so fast.
no, you got to get on it right away.
Yeah,
That's the
gotta-
key.
well,
Yeah.
it's hard because your priority registration as a freshman is later than
Low.
everybody else.
That's why I'm saying next
you'll be
year,
able
yeah.
to. Yeah.
Also, but if you're around this summer, I'm taking the sci-fi class that he's teaching.
Do it.
I think I'm gonna take it too.
Ryan, you
actually.
should take it.
I think
No,
I'm gonna take it.
I can't take any more credits.
Oh shit.
They'll kick me out. They're like, get the fuck out of here. You've had enough. You're graduated. Okay. I need to stick around. I don't want to get a real job.
all right. But no, try if you're gonna be around this summer, take this sci-fi course. It's gonna be dope, and he's teaching it. And
Yeah, it's gonna be. Sick.
he is just such like he's been a really big inspiration to me, to Mitchell, to basically any man, woman, and child that guy speaks to. He inspires.
He does children courses. Maybe I'll start off with some of those
Tell
and then
me.
work my way up.
He does pre-K film classes.
Wow,
Pre-K film.
that's really great.
Jesus.
Inspiration.
But back to the topic of scripts and production. I think big sigh. I think it'll be good for you.
Let Mitchell be excited.
If you
I want you to be
if you want to
excited.
be enthusiastic,
Let me
about
love it.
Yeah.
Let me love it.
I just want you to be prepared because I don't think it's going to be exactly what you think it is.
I mean, you don't write scripts in that class.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You don't write
You
anything.
you kind of analyze. I think you analyze scripts for like the first 2-3 weeks, and then it got to the point where it was just like we're not doing things, and it just made me sad. It really, because I was just like you, and it was a class I was really looking forward to, and I hope that you can keep that passion throughout. I really do.
Just let him be excited.
Well, I'm gonna
The veil
counter.
has been lifted.
Yeah.
and-
Well, I guess I'll kind of counter that a little bit though. Like I think people who, because what we would do, so what you do in that class is you read a script. You either read the assigned script or watch the assigned movie, whichever week it is, and you write a response about it, and then you go to class. You do this before class, and then you go to class and you talk about it with the professor. And I think for someone like what you just said, like you want to absorb art and really analyze it, and someone who's interested in writing specifically, because he talks a lot about the writing, I mean, scripts in production, like he's talking about the writing and the scripts. If you are consciously making an effort to be invested in that class, you should do it.
Yeah.
The reason why some of us weren't consciously invested in making an effort to be invested in that class is because we were reading a lot of theater stuff and reading a lot of scripts. And at the time, I wasn't that interested in writing. I didn't really have a big interest. I was big into cameras at that time. I was big into,
You're just big.
I was just big, bro.
You're
I was big.
guy.
I was big into
Jesus
the
Christ.
visual aspect of it. And looking back on it now, I wish I would have invested more of my thought and time into that class, because now that I am interested in writing and directing and like story more so than I was before, I'm like, wow, that class would have been really helpful. So I would advise you to consciously make an effort to be invested in that class, because you'll never get to have Ian as a professor ever again. And
That's really encouraging.
yeah.
And I'm not saying like I obviously know.
Top of that.
I just want to make it clear that.
Communication is my number 2 strength.
All right.
Okay.
Fuck off, Clifton asshole.
Future director.
There you go.
I do have to say that like I probably did not treat that class with as much respect as I should have. I'm the kind of person that needs to like. It was very much like we were explained like why this is good or why this worked and why it didn't.
Yeah.
But ever since
I know where you're going with this.
ever since 6th, 7th grade math, where the teacher, Mr. Cullinan, I will never forget him, completely ruined my 7th grade year, got up there and he would like explain why this worked, why this math problem worked. I have to be told how, and I need to be told not just the why, but how. What are the intricacies of that? And so when we would get up there in the first 2 weeks in scripts and production, when he talked about and I like Ian. I really do like Ian as a professor. I like him as a person, but I wasn't getting enough out of it, and I should have been more proactive to ask those questions. And so when we were sitting up there and he drew out a 3-act structure on the board, he explained...
That was actually super helpful.
See, and it was helpful for you. It was not helpful to me.
Because I'm very visual.
Yes.
Like, as soon as he drew that out and I could look at it and see it.
We're all different learners here.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I just don't think that it tickled my noggin in the way that my noggin needs to be tickled, you know?
And that's why I feel like
Tickle me,
I get so much out
Francis.
of back to Dixon. Oh my God, we didn't give him enough praise already. But why I love his classes is because
He explains how.
Not only that, but he forces you to come to your own conclusion because
Yes.
he asks you what you think, and then he'll talk off of what you think,
Yeah.
which is really interesting because then it forces me to think during the movie, like, okay, what am I going to say? What am I noticing? What am I picking up
Right.
on? And then I get to say it out loud, which really helps it cement into my head. That's how I learn.
I've never been so focused and into writing a paper than I was in Dixon's class. Is because when you write when you write papers for his class, he forces you. He
They're
says,
like trying to get him out of there.
and
I
he's
think.
not, and he's a total
Yes.
he's a total no.
We'll talk about that next.
He's
Go
a
ahead.
total no bullshit guy. He's like, don't write me an intro conclusion. I don't care. The thing that got me, like the one thing I picked on is each sentence should tell me something new. He wants you with each word you speak to tell him something new about the films, and you know that he already knows the information.
Oh, yeah.
Know
He's seen
but
these papers millions of times.
He's forcing you to come up with the conclusions yourself rather than feeding it to
Make
you
a
and then
point.
just
Make a new point.
regurgitating it on paper.
Make a unique point. Even
Yeah.
if you're
So-
being super critical, just make something.
So on
unique.
to the thing that Ryan brought up in the middle of that is no, it's great. Dixon, he is a part of the film studies is under the English department.
Yes, part of the English school.
The
Yes.
English department, however, has made it increasingly difficult for Professor Dixon to host classes.
Don't say that.
I don't know. I can't say what the future holds or
They're
anything.
trying to get him out.
They're
basically.
trying.
What?
It's an absolute travesty, and it's just like
which I don't understand why.
I don't understand. He is teaching some of the best classes taught at this university.
Yeah.
And in the very last class that we had, we watched Faces Places, a wonderful documentary about Agnes Varda.
Yeah,
you seen
Agnes
that?
Varda. Oh my God. Yeah,
it
we watched
made
it.
me-
We watched it in our international films class over the summer.
Made me think,
made me
made me
cry.
cry.
Yeah.
It made me cry. Oh my
Yeah.
God. We watched
You
another
gotta see
Agnes
that, Mitchell.
Varda. Dude,
It's so
she's
good.
The
she's
part with the
incredible.
trains. She's
Yeah.
she's
So
incredible.
anyway, before the class started, we had to do evaluations, right? We were doing evaluations for the course, and
he was pleading.
he was
literally,
he,
like,
he was
pleading.
pleading with us. He
Exactly,
said,
same.
"Listen, this is the class that I teach once a week, but every other day of the week, I have to fight to get this class to be taught. I
I'm
have
so
to
mad.
fight. I have to fight upper faculty. I have to fight the university system." And he says, just please, if you liked this course, say that, because these evaluations mean something not only to me but to them, because then they know
Exactly.
that this course matters. And he said from the bottom of his heart, and he was getting emotional.
Yeah.
He's like, I know that this course matters. I know that the information that I'm giving you guys matters, but they don't see it that way. They see it because and they don't even want it to be held in the classroom that it's being held in.
He's the only professor that I filled up that evaluation page.
Oh,
I did
same.
too.
I filled
Yeah.
the back.
I wrote another essay on the backside, dude.
Because it's so important. Like they can't take.
I just
that
feel
away.
like they think that it's only. I don't think they understand how important it is to us as prospective and current filmmakers
to watch fucking movies.
to watch
No, exactly.
and
Like,
analyze
that's-
the way that we do. So
Yeah.
and I hope I will fight.
I will
too.
fight whoever
Fist
I have
fight,
to fight.
fist to cuffs
Well, when
with
you
some
have when you
bitch.
have a professor
That's not a
come
threat.
into class and say that the
not at
favorite
all.
part of his week
Is this?
is the teaching and coming to class and teaching you, that
and
riles
it's the
something
little
up.
things.
Yeah.
You know, he's a guy. Unlike many professors that I've come across at UNL, he responds to my emails the day I hit him up. I hit him up about something that wasn't even his job, and I didn't even have a class with him at the time. I said, "Hey, what? You know, I've had some questions about a film studies minor. Can you maybe help me out?" He sent me back the same day a full several paragraphs giving
It's
me all
crazy.
the information. I was like, "Dude,
Well, and he does the things, not only, he challenges you to write good essays, but he opens up his email inbox. You can send him your essay, and he will thoroughly go through it and edit it. And I just don't know of any other professors I've ever had who just care so much about.
And do you know how many kids are in that class?
oh, like 100."
Yes.
like
What?
75?
Yeah,
I think.
They-
Yeah.
kids get
it's in the,
75
it's
to
in the
100.
movie theater. Yeah.
And
So,
they
like,
they don't want that class to be held in the movie theater anymore.
which is like, where else are you gonna hold it?
It's like you're gonna hold it in a classroom with a shitty projector. No.
Yeah,
They
no.
work hard. Phil in the back works hard with Dixon to make sure that it's in the right aspect
Well, they
ratio.
project those films on the film stock that they were shot on.
Yeah, they get the
They
actual film reel.
Dixon has an actual, like, honest to God union projectionist come in and project the films, and it's like
What?
you can't get the
Yeah,
you can't
most
get
of
the
that-
same
It's
experience.
not digital. It's
No, none of it's digital.
Yeah, none of it's digital. It's crazy. It's insane.
The
Absolutely.
only film we watched on digital was the Faces Places one
because it came out
because
last
it was
year.
shot on
Yeah.
digital. Everything is projected on film by a union projectionist at the right aspect ratio.
It's incredible. It's
Yeah.
such a good experience.
For example, Singing in the Rain was shot on 3-strip Technicolor. We saw that Biddy on 3-strip Technicolor. I've seen that movie
It's
before.
so- oh my
and
God.
oh my god, seeing it again, whole new experience.
it's like a little vinyl action for music.
Oh, yes,
You just
dude.
can't replace that.
Yeah.
So for us non-film listeners, if you know anything about vinyl, that's it.
That's
here.
the comparison.
And that's why like so many movies are being shot on film again, is because like it's just better.
And film as in like strips of film, like
Yes.
a film camera versus like a DSLR or like a
Right.
Canon or like actual film.
There's just a certain kind of zazz you get from shooting on film. The
texture.
colors,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
texture
Well, it's
is
because
great. Grain is really in right now. You know, I noticed that.
Uh-huh.
Grain.
Yeah.
I hear
Economic.
Grain.
people edit their pictures and add grain
And
to
add
it.
grain.
And
Here's the thing.
Mitchell
I was
Francis over here is like, why are you adding grain?
I
to your
know. I was
pictures?
like, okay, because
What's
I
up
was
with
raised.
grain?
No. So my dad's a photographer. I was raised on images being as sharp as
Clear,
possible,
yeah.
clear, clean. That's what I was raised
Well, your
on.
dad shoots
That's
sports,
how I-
so like that's
how I
probably what you
edited-
want.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing all these like artsy like some of the freshmen are showing me these pictures, and she was like, "Yeah, I just added a little bit of grain." I was like, "Why? You're ruining." But then I understand that.
It's
I
artsy.
think grain is very in right now.
Texture.
As far as
I
like
think
the artsy and like,
Vintage,
Yeah.
as a whole, like that
just
feeling
cracked
of
my neck
nostalgia
back.
is back. You know, it's
that's
like
why films are
totally is.
being shot. on
vinyl has
actual
never
film.
been bigger
Than it
in
is
the
now.
world than it is now.
Yeah.
It's like Kodak might make a comeback with like
here's
like
the-
Polaroid cameras. It's like,
Polaroid cameras are
Sharon,
back.
I know.
Fuji,
Yeah.
Sharon
Fuji.
Sharon was
shout out
telling-
Fuji.
Shout out to Fuji representative here.
Fuji.
Listen, but here's the thing: cinema can be shot on Fuji digital cameras. And I
go.
will
Fight.
stand by that till the day I die.
Okay. All right.
Sharon was
Transition.
telling us crack. It's fine. Sharon was telling us that Kodak, and it might not be Kodak. I don't know, but there is a.
No, it's Kodak.
Is it Kodak?
Yeah.
They are making a camera / made a camera that is shot on film that gives you playback, so you can see.
What?
Yeah,
It
it's
can
wild.
process in house.
Yes, it
Well,
processes in
it
the
does-
house.
well, no. It doesn't process in the camera.
Yeah, no.
It plays it projects the film basically within the
into the
camera.
viewfinder.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fucking
No, it's
gnarly.
on a screen.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a pop-out screen, like most cameras.
My brain hurts.
Yeah, and
understand.
Sharon said it's like out of this world.
How big is this camera?
I don't
Yeah.
think it's very. I don't know. I've never seen it.
'Cause it's got a-
She was talking it up though.
it's honestly
you know
wild.
all those little
yeah.
artsy DPs and you're like, oh, I gotta get that.
And then the cool thing that Sharon was saying is that you can, because you have to send that film footage to be processed,
They
right?
give you the processed film and a digital copy.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like an instantaneous. Like you send it one day, you'll get it back the next
What's
week.
like the digital equivalent for like storage wise for film? I wonder. It doesn't matter actually. But,
I have no idea.
because it's footage. With film, it's footage. It's like a certain like actual.
Oh,
that's where
footage.
that's where the
feet.
That's where the term footage.
T-A-G-E.
That's where the term footage comes
footage
from.
comes
It's
from.
because it literally comes from they used to store and measure the amount of film that you
gnarly.
shot in actual like length, like feet.
Yeah.
Footage.
In footage.
So when you buy film, you buy it by the foot.
feet.
So like,
Ladies
the
and
film-
gentlemen, if you learn anything from today's podcast, it's that footage comes from film. You're welcome.
We've basically gone on a good 5 to 10 minute rant about movies and film, which is
What else are we supposed to do, though, honestly?
We're passionate.
We're pals. You should have expected that. You should have expected some movie talk.
Well, Parker, you said it in the first episode. You said we'll leave the station on a train that might not come back with
when
any wheels
Or people.
or people.
Just a huge fire.
When the train leaves the station, there is no guarantee that anybody comes back alive or that the wheels are still on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's a dumpster.
But I think that's what makes this podcast what it is, though.
It's pals.
It's amazing.
It's pals being
Just
pals.
sit
Take a
and
drink.
talk. Get to know each other.
For those playing.
Dude, I'm feeling this
are we
LaCroix.
toasting
I'm
again?
feeling
We're
this
toasting.
LaCroix.
I love the LaCroix.
I think I'm becoming a
Francis,
LaCroix
take
boy.
it.
There we go.
It's
Yeah,
It's all-
we like that.
we've
pretty good.
converted him.
Mine is
You know,
warm and
This
it's really
podcast
nasty, to be
single-handedly
honest.
I
converted
usually
me.
hate
No kidding.
lemon.
It's good, right?
This is actually all right.
Is that cold?
We are not sponsored,
No.
by the way. Let me make that clear. We
No.
are
Gotta
not
have it when it's
sponsored by
cold, dude. It's
LaCroix.
amazing.
Not sponsored.
I mean, it was like.
I don't want to get in trouble.
We're just film kids.
We're just film kids.
There's a connotation there with
Yeah.
film kids.
Film
liking-
kid equals LaCroix.
Yeah, because 2018, everyone wants to be fucking healthy. So on film sets, all they got is LaCroix. I'm like, yo, give me a goddamn Coke.
LaCroix's not healthy.
I
It
just-
is healthy. It's
Dude,
kind of healthy.
It's naturally
Not-sponsored.
sweetened by like.
no, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's natural flavor. There's no artificial sweetener
Yeah,
in
it's
there.
healthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's natural flavor.
Distributed by Sundance
This
Beverage.
literally is sparkling water
that
with
should-
natural
That's that
flavor.
bougie. I don't
No,
know
that
what
should
is.
tell you everything. Distributed by Sundance Beverage. You know what
There
else
it
is
is.
Sundance? The Sundance Film Festival.
Whoa.
Hey.
Okay, so now that we've talked about classes, kind of, and Mitchell, by the way, I hope Scripps goes well. I really do.
And I'm
I
sorry
wanna
for
get
cutting
into
you
it.
off like 3,000
No,
times.
I want to
That's
get
fine.
into a film studies class now, like with
Yeah.
all my
Yeah. You
heart.
have to.
Yes.
Because you built that up. So
No, you will. If they,
I hope Wheeler
it's
did
just like an
as long as-
Empire State Building up to me now, and I just want to climb up it and write some essays about some films.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's
You'll
the
get
attitude.
opportunity. We'll get there. We'll get there. But okay, Parker.
Don't
So
kick him out.
what I want to ask, because two of our members are unprepared. Shocker. Welcome to the Pals podcast.
I've never been unprepared for anything in my freaking life.
It's my first time. What?
Let's talk about projects. Let's talk about things we want to do next semester
projects.
outside of class. Who wants to go first?
Those goes.
I went
Shocker.
first for the last one, so I'm gonna opt out for this one.
Wow, it looks like
I'm
it's
still gonna
me.
go. But
All right, yeah, Parker.
All right,
Well,
what do
let's
I
talk
wanna
about
do
what you're-
next semester?
What projects you're thinking about?
Well, I have a couple on the line. So like, I'm moving these cans. It's loud. I'm
All
sorry.
3 of those.
I have
This is your ASMR
I-
break.
You
I
drank
hope you've
3
not had to
LaCroix.
pee yet.
I have the bladder of a giant.
LaCroix?
LaCroix.
Is LaCroix already the plural of LaCroix?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
Of course.
It's like the French word for the
Lacrosse.
cross. Jesus.
Lacrosse.
So I've got a couple things. I'm at a weird, and I think I've talked to each of you maybe
Yeah.
about this, but the world needs to know.
Oh yeah, they do.
So I'm in a weird place. Like Mitch had his his career life crisis.
Mid-college
Career-
career life crisis.
That's
First world problems for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. So I'm not having like a crisis, a crises. Having some definite like, whoa, buddy. So for the last two projects in Film Pro 1, I edited the film, and Mitchell
It's
got it-
spiced
I know
him.
what you're gonna say.
It's spiced
Mitchell
him.
Mitchell looked at me like, oh.
You're gonna.
These aren't crises though. These are
No,
like
these are good things. These are very
No,
good
the
things.
crisis thing was completely a joke.
They're,
This is
not,
like,
yes.
they're not
yeah.
crises. They're revelations.
Oh,
I-
okay.
Goodness
Nice work.
gracious.
But
I
no,
see you,
my computer. Okay, I love my computer, but Adobe
Okay.
Premiere does not work on my
first of all,
computer.
I'm gonna say I'm saying fuck Dell.
Dude.
Dell's will never be the move.
Parker, you remember when
I'm sorry.
you and I had that argument?
Yes.
Your 2-minute long film was taking like an hour to export. I'm like, Parker, you want to just transfer it onto my computer and we can export? He's like, no, my computer's got the specs, okay?
16
megabytes of RAM.
You guys,
And I'm
it
like,
does
it
have the
clearly
specs,
doesn't
but
have the
I don't
specs.
know what is
What?
wrong.
It might be the graphics card. It might be.
It had, dude, listen.
It could be that it's not a Mac.
Okay.
Okay,
Ooh.
I love Macs, but like if you build a fucking PC, you can make it way better.
I think I'm
than
gonna
Mac.
take it in.
Way
What's
better
what's
than
that?
But you have to build one.
Yeah,
I mean,
for-
you can't buy a
I
PC
think the best
laptop and expect
package
it.
deal when you buy it though is a Mac.
Oh yeah.
Buy
yeah.
it.
Oh,
But
I
if
mean,
you
just
build
the interface
it,
alone is worth
But
the
if you
price.
no, see, I'm on that train too. If you build, what are you fucking?
He was too far away from the
I was-
mic, so I moved it closer.
No,
and he
if
started
you
licking
build,
it.
was a
if
cute
you
little-
build a PC,
So cute.
I guess you just gotta get
better than a
close.
Mac.
I know.
But if you buy a Mac laptop versus a PC laptop, Mac
I'm
laptop
just saying,
every time.
Dell's no matter what, stay away from Dell.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the deal. I'm gonna take it in and be like, listen, I spent too much money
How
on
much
this.
did you pay? Let the
don't wanna
listeners
talk
know.
about it.
Let the listeners know how much you paid for a laptop that can now render out a 2-minute movie in less than 6 hours.
No, that's an exaggeration. Okay. I just have to make it. Nick Howard added you as a friend. That's weird.
Okay. All right.
I have to make it known that I did not purchase this. It was a Christmas birthday ×2.
Oh, that makes it.
Those are
Easier.
the-
I'm sorry. I don't mean to flame it like this. Then.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm still gonna flame it. It sucks.
I haven't gotten a Christmas or birthday present for 2 years. No, I'm kidding. It's a Dell XPS 15
Okay.
touchscreen, 4K touchscreen.
Maybe it shouldn't be.
Dude, I don't know. And it was like $2,400.
No.
See, here's the thing.
No.
I spent.
What?
Here's the no, dude. I
You
spent.
get a brand new
I spent
fucking iMac with
$3,000.
that.
I spent $3,000 on my laptop, and that was with the upgraded processor, with the upgraded RAM, and the biggest like amount of like scratch
Yeah.
disk
And
you
what
could
model
have.
did you have?
What?
It's a
what
Mac
model?
15-inch.
Like the newest, like the 17,
2018
So like a
MacBook
biggest
Pro.
MacBook Pro.
Okay.
And mine flies, dude. I can, dude.
and
mine
his has
flies.
less. His has less RAM than mine does.
That's true.
It's more important graphics card.
I think I'm gonna take it in.
I have a
It's-
similar
the
model.
processor.
I exported a 30-minute video in less than 3 minutes.
I
And
exported.
that's the thing. Is like I was
Wow.
trying
Do you have a
was-
PC?
No, I have the MacBook Pro.
God, you guys,
Dude,
I was
that
trying
thing,
to
it's
export.
so
I was
good.
trying to export the first
It's-
episode of PALS to YouTube, and it was gonna take 44 hours.
On the Dell.
yes.
On the Dell.
on the Dell.
on the Dell.
Just sounds bad. Dell. It's on a Dell.
Okay, so what should I do? Take it. Number one, take it in.
No.
No,
Buy a new computer.
I think
Dude, if you could get a new like graphics card or processor,
Because
I don't know how the
all
fuck
my-
I don't
listen.
really know how that works.
Most people know this. I am an Apple hater. Okay.
he is.
I am an
know.
Android
I don't understand
fanboy.
why.
It's
Okay,
unjust.
the Pixel's good. I
The
understand
Pixel
that.
3
but
XL is the best
Dell,
phone on the market.
But we're
I'm
talking
loving
about computers though. The Pixel 3 is nice. Good phone.
Amazing.
But why are you a Mac hater for laptops?
Because I feel like I've never had a Mac computer. I've only had an Apple
well,
phone.
then you don't even know.
But I feel like it's not going to communicate with what I'm used to very well.
What do you mean?
See, that's
Communicate.
Like with my phone, like I know that the big thing about Apple is the ecosystem and how everything
Yeah,
connects with
yeah,
each
the
other.
environment.
You can connect the phone just fine to a MacBook.
Can
Yeah,
you?
I think
but
you
A
can.
Pixel?
I don't know.
I know Android.
I think you're
Samsung.
worried
I
Android.
could.
I mean,
I
it's
think
still
you're putting
Android.
too much emphasis on the fact that you want all your devices to interconnect, and not enough on the
But
fact that you
these don't
just
even-
need to be able to process
Wait,
files.
those don't even connect?
Not really.
Okay, the Dell. What the fuck is the Dell doing
what-
for you?
Get rid of the Dell,
The
okay?
Dell is
You're
not
worried about the
doing anything.
communication, but the communication is already zero, Parker. I think there's an inconsistency in your argument.
So,
Your
so
rhetoric
what
is
do I do?
off.
Sell this thing?
Yes.
I'd say get rid of it.
no,
I
sell
don't
it.
get rid
He
of
can sell it.
I
Get
don't
some
think I can
cash.
sell-
Get some
I'm not saying
cash.
throw it in the goddamn trash. I'm just saying.
I don't
yeah,
think I could sell it for as much as I got it for.
Well, have yourself
Absolutely not. You
1,500, I
can't
bet
sell
easy.
anything.
Yeah.
The second you take a car out of the lot, it's not going to be
It
worth
loses
what you
half-
bought it
yeah,
for.
half its
Actually,
value.
house you could make money off a house.
Well,
depending on the
we're
market.
not flipping
Okay,
this
yeah.
Dell, okay?
No, I wouldn't pay
But
a
do you,
penny
know,
for
do you
that.
guys know how many stickers I have on this thing?
Okay,
New
rip them off.
HGTV show.
I love
You're
the
not
stickers.
gonna
Can I get
flip.
the stickers
You're not gonna-
off and put them on my new
No,
one?
of course not. But I mean, you can still take them off and sell the Dell, which you should.
Here's what you do. You take the stickers off. Here's how you can flip the Dell.
Yeah.
Take the stickers off, put some Elmer's glue on the back of them. You're going to be fine. Sell the Dell for parts. And then you got
as a unit.
Not even as a unit.
I would
Sell it for
love if you
parts,
just.
and you get half of your next laptop for free.
I would love if you just took your Dell with like the stickers half scraped off to like a U-Haul and be like, I want to sell this for parts. Or not a U-Haul, but like
so sad. It's really a tragedy.
Because I love this laptop. I really do.
Do you really though?
No.
You love it, but do you like it?
I mean, I love that it was a gift, and that's
It's
really
like-
sweet and sentimental. But at the same
Yeah.
time, it's a fucking Dell.
I remember the other day when I exported a 15-minute video
Stop.
in less than 10 minutes, and his 2-minute film with no color,
4
no
minutes.
effects.
4 minutes.
I'm looking at this. Okay, the first episode of the PALS podcast when we're trying to export it for YouTube. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, this file is 70 megabytes, and it's taken 40 hours on the Dell.
Well,
That's
it was
rough,
6
dude.
gigs. Remember?
Still,
well, I
bro.
don't know, but you're right. The export was 6
Yeah,
gigs.
fuck
You're
off.
right. Okay.
Okay, but
I'm
44 hours?
But I mean, that's still like.
I think that
can't
it's
even
I think
imagine.
it's a driver problem. I think it's a communication between the computer and Adobe Premiere is what I think it is.
That's why Macs are so good because the communication
You know
between
what?
Macs
I'm gonna
and
go-
software is
It's
so good.
incredible.
It's so good.
I'm gonna go to Big Daddy Steve, Professor Steve,
Good idea.
and I'm gonna be like, Steve, please help me.
I know.
He'll tell you to get rid of the Dell, I guarantee you.
He's a PC
The first thing he
But
says, sell it for parts. Scrap it for parts.
He's
The
like,
second
get out
that-
the Elmer's glue.
Pulls it out of his drawer. All right, there you go.
Get those stickers
He,
out.
He like doesn't
Glue.
say anything, he just...
you go on a long tangent about how you love your Dell with all your heart.
This thing
And
of
he
glue.
he pulls out the glue and he goes, Parker.
What if he pulls out a
it's
hammer?
a Dell
It's a
though.
What if he pulls out a hammer, just sets a hammer on the table and be like, you're going to want to use this.
Yeah, one option.
No, Steve Colby is the biggest like PC guy I know.
But is he a Dell guy?
It's better than HP. You got to give me that.
See, I don't think so.
I don't agree with that either. I had a Dell, dude.
I had a
computers
Dell
are
desktop,
ass.
and even that took way too long.
I couldn't even play Minecraft Alpha on our family's
my
Dell desktop.
Only
bro.
reason you want to get a Dell is if it's a monitor.
Okay, yeah.
Because the monitors
Even then,
are fine.
Asus,
We have Dell
Asus
monitors
monitors
in
are
the
nice.
lab.
and
they're
they're
spicy.
pretty.
I
They're
have
pretty.
to go with Mitch Francis on this.
Asus
You know,
monitors are dope.
I
I
had,
have an Asus
I had a
monitor.
Dell desktop, and it ran Minecraft at 15 frames per second.
Oh god, that was
So if that's any incentive,
Ugly.
it's
All
still
right,
a Dell though.
So maybe we need to.
We're gonna move on.
and they don't,
gonna move on.
they don't
from the
really make new Dells anymore, right? Yeah,
They do.
Good ones?
Exactly.
Dude, no,
our
I see
point.
commercials for him, and every
Oh,
time
you really?
I know that's a fucking scam. I know that's a scam.
Dell
That thing
Razor
is not-
6 with a new.
Exactly.
If you couldn't
Garbage.
tell,
That thing
ladies
is
and
not gonna work.
gentlemen, if you couldn't tell, we are definitely not sponsored by Dell.
we're paying you up.
Sponsor Dell.
We are anti-sponsored by Dell. We have to
gotta
pay
pay
them.
Dell,
on
yeah.
Dell pays us not to talk about their computers.
Dude, if that was how sponsorships
Oh my
work,
god, that'd be amazing.
You just have a podcast of nothing.
Please stop trashing us.
our stocks have dipped.
Dude, I bet that's kind of interesting. Like big
We're already at an
podcast.
hour.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, does it?
No, it does not.
The listeners are like, can we wrap this up?
No,
No,
they're having fun.
No, this
It'll
is
be me in the future just listening.
just
Just
this is
me.
a long-winded way of me saying that I like editing.
Hey,
yeah, that's what we were
there
talking
you go.
about.
And imagine how much more you'll like it on a Mac.
No, let's stay away from the computer
you're
talk.
right, you're right,
Stay
you're
away
right,
from-
you're
It's gonna
right,
make me
right.
sadder.
Yeah, we talked tech for a little while.
We did, but that's okay. No, that's cool though. Like
It's weird. I have.
this is full of stack.
Oh,
No,
we
no.
have,
But they're stacking the LaCroix in the
for the
middle of the
audio
table.
listeners, we have a stack of about
Holy
6
shit.
LaCroix cans on the table right
going
now.
for
Wait,
full
no,
one.
no, no,
Going
wait
for
till he
full
takes a
one.
picture.
Okay,
Oh my God.
Wait till he takes a picture.
Full one on the top like Eudora.
We got
All right, go for it.
This is
Go for it.
disgusting.
3, 4,
No,
5,
my
6,
God.
7 LaCroix cans.
Is it open?
He's got it. He's got
Oh, wow.
That one's full.
Is it open?
Yeah, it's open.
It's full. And
Fucking take it off.
usually you put the heavy one on the bottom, Ryan. I don't know.
I'm
Like,
not
it's
Ryan
like
architecture
did not
shoes.
pass high school physics, okay?
Or
Barely.
architecture.
Yeah, nope, not at all.
All right, can I finish this
Yes,
story?
go on it, because I have a
You
thing
wanna
to
go?
say to you too.
Okay.
Go
So
for
like
it.
I've been editing, and I sit down, and then I wake up, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. And it's weird. Like I fly when my computer wants me to fly. Like I love.
What do you mean you're done?
Like I'll sit down,
Yeah.
start editing, and then I'll wake up, and I'm done editing.
Oh.
And it's just kind of like, obviously I'm awake and coherent the whole time,
yeah.
but I'm just enjoying it so much that like time flies.
Yeah, it's just like it's a thing where it's mindless because it's
Yeah.
so. Well, I guess that's not the right word, but it just
Not mindless,
feels
but
so
it just
good.
doesn't feel like
Yeah,
work.
time flies when you're
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. And it's weird because I came into the school with the mindset that I was going to direct/produce. That's how I started freshman year.
Still can't.
Still can't produce worth a
No,
shit.
you still can. You still can. Like those options are
No,
still
I
on the
know
table.
that I still can,
Yeah.
but it's weird because like I've fallen definitely more away from producing.
Yeah.
Like I've had that experience. I want to do something different. Not that
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do it again because I do, but not right
Right.
now. And then I picked up writing my freshman year, and that is like a really weird thing because I still want to write, and Ryan knows I've been trying to write this whole week.
Yeah, feature, full length movie.
Full boy,
Which-
and
oof.
that I started once. Here's the deal: is like once I get home for Christmas break, it will be close to the same time that I started writing this thing a year ago.
Wow, that's always trippy.
Because it's just like fuck, I haven't
That
done
is wild.
anything. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
been a full year, and this thing isn't even close to being done.
Yeah, and you know, I'm wondering though, are you into? Because you're saying you're into editing. Are you into it all? Like getting into motion graphics, or
I don't know.
dude, I think you'd love it.
I loved Photoshop class.
Oh, then you would absolutely love it. You would absolutely love it
Okay.
because, like, the possibilities like that you can explore are so much greater, and I think that would open up so much more for
Yeah.
you too. Because
And
it helps you be more creative. Like I'm saying, when you're like crafting stories, when you're starting to direct a project, you think like, okay, how am I visually gonna tell whatever story I'm trying to tell? That's basically your job. Right?
yeah.
And when you know like what you can do with motion graphics and stuff in post production, like it just opens up your creativity so much more.
Okay.
So get into it.
I mean, are there classes? My schedule's full as hell
No,
next semester.
next year take digital
Okay.
motion graphics for a
Well,
semester.
now that it'll be over at the new school and everything, like I think that'll be
and there will be even more classes
new
for you to take.
professors.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
new. Not that the professors are bad. I'm saying we're supposed to hire 5
Well,
new
just
faculty.
different people with different perspectives.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Can we take the tower down? I can't see Mitchell's beautiful
I know,
face.
me either.
Francis'
Okay,
beautiful face.
wait. Here's how we can do it. You guys want to play LaCroix Jenga?
Oh my God, no!
There's no
Right.
Jenga.
No,
There's
I'm doing it. I'm doing
There's
it.
liquid.
Oh! Okay, it failed.
It failed fast. One can gone.
Oh wow.
So, the projects that I want to work on next semester.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
Great success.
Is I have to finish the screenplay.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least the first
It's
draft.
gonna keep eating at you.
It's been eating me this whole week because I'm like, all right, you set this week
Do
aside.
you know the story that you want to tell
No.
them? That's what you got to figure
I
out
know.
first.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Sit down and just write the damn story. Figure out the character. Like
My
writing
biggest thing-
dude, just sitting down and writing a screenplay is ridiculous.
That's not what I'm doing though. Like I'm trying to figure out. Like I know how I want it to begin.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. I don't even know that. I know I want it. I know how I want it to end.
yeah.
The problem is everything in between.
I feel that. dog.
because
Well, use work backwards. That's something that always works for me. Is if I know how I want
Work
something to
backwards?
end,
yeah.
I work backwards to the point where what has to happen to get to the ending? What has to happen to get to that?
See,
what has to happen
I
to get to
don't
that?
like that way of doing it because I feel like then you're doing artificial things that that aren't necessarily true to the story just to make it work. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
can see that.
That's fair.
It's like sequencing something to like make the timing right or make something
Yeah.
work or like because I feel like once you know your characters well enough, which is super important when you're screenwriting,
Uh-huh.
they will tell you what to do. They will tell you where they want to go.
When that's my thing is like I don't think my characters are strong enough. I have and
Gotta
I
work
think
it out.
it starts like the basic idea of the story, and I'm not going to go into it because
Yeah.
this is a whole other episode.
Oh, it's a fucking feature.
Oh my God, it's 5. It's basically 5, 6, 7.
Oh my god.
There's probably 8 characters, like big characters.
Like major
goodness.
characters?
No, okay, so there's probably 4 to 5 major characters. It's
Wow.
the story is about a group of friends reconvening or like getting back together after a lot of time spent apart.
Yeah.
Where 2 of them are off at college, 2 of them are still in high school.
Hashtag relatable.
Hashtag relatable, right? Like that's where I got the idea for
Yeah.
the story. Is my friends, like I can't wait to see them next week, and we've been talking about this movie, and I've been taking like real life inspiration for that.
Which is important.
It's important, but it's also like it's almost not cinematic at some points. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, you
have
got
to
to
be-
juice it up a little bit.
yeah, I'm trying to juice these things to make it feasible, I guess.
That's why, if you just throw all of if you know the characters and if you just throw them all into an extreme situation, then I feel like they can work it out themselves. Like, the characters will know what they want to do.
I think what I need to do really is, excuse me for burp, I really need to figure out what these characters' motivations are, like what they really want, and because right now they all sound the same when they're talking. Bad news.
Well, I'll say this about characters.
Yeah.
Wesley Brolick, that man,
Acting professor.
acting professor at
Actor
UNL.
aficionado.
Very good. I'm not one to talk about characters or how you should write anything, but he always said, your characters, you need to know what they do outside of the screen and what they feel like outside of the screen, because the camera and the audience only shows up for that 2 hours for a reason.
Yeah.
So you need to know what they're doing outside of that 2 hours and how they feel and what the relationships
100%
are.
agree with that.
Besides the 2 hours. And then when you get the 2 hours, how do those characters change from what they're like off screen?
Okay.
Yeah, because that's why movies exist, because it's the day that something happens. That's what the inciting incident is always something that is out of the ordinary.
Out of the ordinary.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, and I think too, like, if we're still talking about characters, like, one thing that I think is always helpful too is, knowing your characters to the point where if you throw an obstacle at them, how is that specific character going to react to that obstacle?
Yeah,
and I feel like if you have that information, if you know how a specific character is going to react to obstacle A, that I think tells you more about your characters than anything. Because
totally,
I feel like in real life, we learn a lot about people that we know based on how they deal with adversity.
Totally.
Yeah.
Same thing with characters.
Wait,
It's the same thing.
Repeat that. I'm gonna write that down.
Which part?
the adversity thing.
Well, we learn a lot in life about people based on how they deal with adversity, and it goes the same for characters.
exactly.
By how they deal with adversity.
More like how they react to adversity. Yeah.
This is a TED Talk for Parker's new feature-length film.
I really need help.
Parker's
You should
project.
plug the title.
Yeah. What's the title?
That way, if you put it out into the universe,
It'll happen.
you have to. If you put it out onto this podcast, you have to make it happen. Then
That's what.
Yeah. What is the
All right.
title?
The title of the film is Second and Sycamore.
Second in
and
Sycamore.
second and sycamore,
Oh,
like
second-
like
oh,
an
like a-
intersection.
like an intersection,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, second.
I'm
in
glad that you
Sycamore.
got that. I'm always
Yeah.
worried that people are like, "What the fuck is that?"
Sorry, I thought you said yeah.
I always say Second and Sycamore because it's just fast.
Second
No.
and though.
And if you see the title, it will make sense that it's
Yeah.
an intersection.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a
Because
good title.
the whole not the whole movie, because I tried to do that. I tried to be ambitious and be like, the whole movie's gonna take place in 2 blocks, and I was like, "Oh, that can't happen."
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, nah. Titles are always tough. Titles are
tough.
Always
Titles are my favorite thing to do, though.
I love coming up with title
Below.
before I even
Yeah.
start writing.
Yeah, I blow
and that's
titles.
exactly what happened. Like
Yeah.
it used to be on the corner of Second and Sycamore.
Oh yeah, that's kind of long.
It is long, but then I just kept saying Second and Sycamore, and I was like, that's better.
That's way better.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I guess now that we've put it out into the universe, it's got to happen. I think I just need to figure out obviously figure out character.
Yeah.
And 2, figure out what are we trying to say? What's the theme? Because
That will come though.
yeah,
will come.
Mitchell and I have talked about theme before, and
Yes.
you come up with theme before you do anything else.
Yeah.
Do you really?
And that's the opposite of the way I work.
See, I
So-
think that's so hard. Talk
'cause
about it.
at the pitch pit.
Yeah.
For Cinema 16, there were people just throwing out ideas, and the first thing I would think of besides characters is okay, well,
you mean the screenwriting workshop thing?
Yeah, the screenwriting
Gotcha.
workshop. It is what are the themes here?
Yeah.
Because I feel like themes are the message that the audience is intended to get and left with, and so I think I naturally gravitate towards those themes. So there was this one guy, I think it was Cadet, and he had this great idea. I won't go into it.
Yeah,
too
don't.
much.
Yeah, because we don't want people stealing it.
Yeah, but it was kind of this biblical sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
immediately
that's interesting.
I was like, okay, you can have this character who interacts with this character, and their arc could represent a theme of this and this. And so it's like I think
And I
starting
would
with the
not have gotten that.
visual idea of themes and like how characters interact with each other.
To create theme.
I think that's just how I go
Yeah.
versus the theme arising out of the characters. I think if you have a theme, that's a really good net to catch your characters if they fall
the
out
theme
of
is
place.
the net. Theme.
That's a really
is
good way of
the
putting
net.
that,
I like
actually, that I hadn't thought about. Because I always thought, like, I was under the impression, like, oh, I'm just going to start writing, and I know what my characters are and how they're going to react, and then themes will present themselves as I write. But that's an interesting way of putting it. I like the
It's
whole
weird
net
that-
analogy because it maintains focus.
Yes,
It maintains,
focus.
it keeps your story focused. And I'm someone who, like, I tend to derail sometimes when it comes to like my attention and stuff like that. And so I could start writing this thing and it doesn't really align with the focus and the theme, but I have that safety net. That's a really I like
That's
that.
cool. I wrote
I
that
like
shit
that
down.
a lot.
I like the safety net. Yeah.
And then I'm just, because I want to get to you guys and what you want to do next semester project wise is the second thing, and I think we're going to do this summer so that way we can really travel, and because I want to go to some locations, is I want to do a music video that I want to direct.
Nice.
Write, but you're not really writing, it's just a shooting script.
Yeah.
And direct for, and I probably shouldn't say because it's like totally copyrighted, but anyway, there's all sorts of, you got to get the rights and all that.
You can still say it like on the podcast.
You think so?
Yeah, dude. No.
Like what song are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
you
course.
can
Are you sure we can do
Yeah,
that?
you can talk about that. Yeah.
Well, shit. Okay.
There's a song, and the first time I listened to it, I hated it. Totally hated it. And then I listened to it 12 more times with my headphones in the pitch black, and I just fell in love. Like, I love what it says, I love what it means, and it's what, Ryan?
I'm just very. I want to know
you're
what
ready?
it is.
You're,
Yeah,
you're
I'm ready
leaning
to hear
into your
it. Yeah.
microphone. It's Superposition
I knew it.
by Young the Giant.
I knew it.
So it's off of Young the Giant's fourth album, their newest album,
Wow.
and it's weird.
It's my favorite song on the entire
See,
It's good, right?
discography of Young.
Wow, the whole discography.
It's my favorite song.
That's a big,
by the
bold
way.
That's
statement
big.
right
I mean,
there.
I have songs that I probably like.
My Body.
I don't know.
That's my favorite.
My Body is your
My
favorite.
Body.
It's everybody's favorite.
You know, there's actually like a study that or I don't remember. It was some scientific study, but it said that our brains are inherently known for like the first time you hear music, you like it less than when you hear it after you hear it a few times. Like it
Really?
takes you a few times to really get used to
I
the
like
music
that.
and like it, like actually
Okay.
see if you
bet that.
actually like the song or not.
Yeah. Well, and the song Superposition's about like, and it could mean so many different things, but basically, have you guys heard of Schrodinger's cat?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, you put this cat in a box, and you seal it inside with a vial of poison, and then you shake the box around or whatever, and you don't know whether the cat is dead or alive until you open the box again. So basically, it's in a state of superposition.
Yeah.
So it's basically
Being both dead and alive.
yes, and so they talk about Samir, the lead singer. He said in an interview that like our relationships with people are kind of like that, where until you take that first step, you're in a state of superposition. Like you don't know what's going to happen with her or him or they until you actually make a move and you make a step. And it's also they also talk about how like no matter what universe you're in, you're connected to people. So like there's this gravitational pull towards somebody no matter what universe you're in. And so I'm trying to like think of like really
Ooh, big visuals.
yes,
Big
like
visuals.
big visuals matching visuals.
Yeah.
So like the like I think the main thing is like two people that are the same,
Yeah.
but they're in different situations, but they still get pulled to each other.
Ooh, yeah, that's interesting.
So I think like one of them is like a friendship, one of them's a relationship, the other is different. Like
yeah.
I just think that could be cool.
No, that sounds really cool. That's exciting.
So I want to do one shoot out at Lake McConaughey where Mitchell's been there.
It's really pretty.
It's pretty, and I think it would be cool.
Did you guys see that little short I did with Parker called Daydreamer?
Which is
I don't
another
believe I
Young the
did.
Giant song.
Which is another Young the Giant song. I made it when we were moving Parker in.
Oh,
I went
did
out
see
to
that.
Ogallala.
Like
Did
out
you
on
see
that
that?
little when he was like skipping rocks and
I
stuff.
was
Yeah,
skipping them
it's like
rocks.
30 seconds.
You gotta
It's
see it.
that beach,
Oh, nice.
and it's dope.
yeah, that'd be really pretty if you had like a nice sun
Yes.
sunset.
And I think if we can, I want to go up to the mountains and do some stuff up there, just because that's always a pretty visual.
Yes.
Rocky Mountain National Park.
And it's a
There we
good,
go.
it's a good contrast to the lake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I think another one like a downtown city. I don't know. We'll
Please
see.
not Lincoln.
Please not
No,
Lincoln.
I think downtown Omaha's
Downtown
really pretty.
Omaha is
That would be
really
cool.
pretty.
So anyway, that's what I'm doing next semester. Hopefully. Who's next? Who wants to go next?
Mitch, or Francis, you got any films that you got in the noggin lined up?
I got some in the noggin for sure.
Ooh, let's not.
Getting them lined up. So, I mean, okay, if we want to talk about, so I'll talk school related first off.
Yeah.
I'm going to start heavily pre-productioning for my advanced project next semester because I want to be prepared, because I have seen the benefits of taking a lot of time to pre-production, and I've also seen on the flip side of that the
opposite
disparages of not taking a lot of time to pre-production. And I do not want to fall into that category.
Nice.
Especially since I'm trying this like new thing, and I really like. I'm so invested in putting a lot of effort into it.
Is that idea conceptualized yet for your advanced project?
Me and my writing partner are
Who will remain nameless?
who will remain nameless at the time.
Okay.
It's Gabe.
Okay.
No, writing partner sounds cooler, but no, me and Gabe and I, he's gonna be the main one, but we were hashing out some stories. Last week, early last week, and he's gonna get me some outlines, some treatments per se of like 3 or 4 different stories, and we're kind of gonna go through them and talk about them, and then pick one, and he's gonna write one, and we'll.
Cool.
It's just been a process, but I wanted to get started on it early, so that's something that's gonna be pulling a lot of my focus. Obviously, like with film directing, that's
gonna be a big time.
And then I actually am. I was asked to be the director on for a short film, like a short 10 to 12 minute film. That's going to be one part in a series of short films.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if you ever met him. You definitely haven't, but Gavin, my good friend Gavin Lake, spent some time at film school in Seattle, and he moved back. And he's kind of taking head on this kind of overarching story with lots of different parts. And he's creating this collaborative where he's asking different people to direct the different films, kind of like the new Star Wars anthologies, like how someone different directs each one, kind of like that. He's creating.
I like that.
Is this
universe.
the project he was telling me about with the ode to Pulp Fiction?
No, well, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think this is different, but he's creating this cinematic universe per se, and he asked me if I wanted to direct the introduction, the first one, the first film.
That's awesome.
Because I showed him when you've finished recording last week, and he was like,
"Shit,
your directing style very much fits the type of story that I want to tell in this first one." And so, looking at doing that. Don't know when that's going to be. I'm meeting with him next week, and we're going to start hashing out and going over ideas and stuff like that. But I want to do more passion projects like that. I want to,
for sure.
Stuff like that is so interesting and so fun to me, and I love narrative stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, so those are some things that are probably going to be taking up a lot of my time next semester. And then obviously in the summer, we're going to do that music video thing, which I think is going to be cool. And I know how I talked about not being excited to shoot anything. I'm really excited to shoot that.
Yeah.
Well, thank God.
I'm really, really excited.
That's awesome.
I might be working on a little project with John Bass, maybe ?
Shooting something?
Shooting something. For him,
we
maybe
got things in the can.
We got things in the can, but yeah. So mainly though, the pre-production for my advanced project, and also that's the film is called. At least right now, the film that I'm directing, that's a part of that universe kind of storyline thing, is called The Mantis.
The Mantis. Very spicy.
Yeah. Nice. So
I think it's definitely beneficial to get a head start on pre-pro. When you brought me on for Alejandra, we started January.
It was now, basically.
We started,
right?
and me and Carter started in December, and then wrote the script through. The script never quite got done. It just kept, it always changes over films. But yeah, we conceptualized kind of a similar thing that Mitch was saying, or Francis was saying. About having 3 stories, really fleshing them out, and then picking one, your favorite, and then running with it, and then doing all the pre-production stuff, which is crazy. So,
I mean, a lot was done over the summer.
Yeah.
A lot was done. I mean, we had the thing cast in
and before the summer.
yeah,
May.
April, May.
Yeah, April, May
I
period.
think we started.
We had auditions in April, casted in May.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And that was definitely beneficial. So I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think Francis, that's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Hands
I
down.
definitely want to, because I understand that like having that element of your pre-production process like
Super
set in
important.
stone, because I've noticed just in like the few things that I have done as a director, I really like not only working with my actors but like bouncing ideas of them and like having it really truly be like a collaboration as far
yeah.
as what
Oh,
type
that's
of
the best way to
performance is
do it,
going to come
yeah.
out. And just the more time I have to do that,
the
would
best time
be
is
the
to
best.
get
better.
the story the way you want it, so
Yeah.
you can flesh out what you actually want from the actors. Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Nice.
So who's next?
Nice.
Who wants to talk about their things next semester?
I'll talk about
Ryan?
my. I'll
Talk about some things.
I'll talk about my project. I want to shoot my short film that I made the teaser for. Maybe
Oh,
not next
really?
semester, but maybe in the summer.
Okay.
That's like right now, me and Carter are working on a music video
Right.
that we're shooting this week actually. So that'll be fun. Yeah. But the big thing is my short film that I've been working on.
Yeah, I mean, because it started as like a feature, right?
Oh, it might be a feature idea, but we're gonna try to condense it. So
Okay.
yeah, I can talk about the story a little bit
Go
if you
for it.
want.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Lay it down.
So first of all, it's about a girl who is a content creator on YouTube and Instagram. She does like beauty stuff, like one of those girls.
That's where the
like a
title
guru.
influencer comes from.
Influencer,
Right?
sure.
Yeah.
Oh well, it comes back a little bit later. She's got like 15 to 20,000 subscribers or whatever. So she's not that huge, but she's big enough where it's like, okay, she's made a little bit of noise. And that she's like a senior in high school, so that kind of isolates her from her friends a little bit because she's spending a lot of time doing her stuff and like marketing herself and kind of getting ready for what she wants to do after high school. And she looks up to like this really big beauty YouTuber who has like millions of followers and like millions of subscribers who just got like this really cool opportunity to like travel the world with like this modeling agency. And she's like really wants to be involved in this opportunity as well because she's kind of just like sick of this small town. Like she lives in like a city kind of like Lincoln and she's like ready to get out or whatever. So she hits up this agency and she's like, yo, I really want to be a part of this. Check out my stuff. And they kind of blow her off and don't get back to her. So she's like, okay, I got to throw an event to get a lot of followers really quick because they have like a cutoff for this job. So she pulls like this event where she tries to get all these influencers that she looks up to at one event, kind of in like so she spends all her money and a lot of time like prepping for this event and no one shows. But then some of her friends from school who has kind of been antagonizing her, like these mean boys show up and things kind of escalate. And eventually, after some pushing and some commotion, the place starts on fire.
Oh shit.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow.
So it kind of goes up in flames. And her trying to, she paid all this money to get this event. She has all her stuff here. She has like her laptop. She has like everything. She's trying to like get everything while everybody's getting out. She gets trapped
Oh.
in the fire and kind of gets really, really fucking burned. Like badly burned.
shit.
So the film ends when we're in the hospital. We're going through the hospital and we hear a narration of the company who actually got back to her after a period and said, you can't be a part of this big agency thing, but we really want you part of like our long-term plan. Like keep doing your thing. We love your look. And then we go into the hospital and she
burned
is
up.
completely disfigured and fucked up.
Oh my god.
And that's how it ends. So that's the movie currently.
That's
That's-
wild.
I want to
Really
be
neat.
on that set.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I think we
Thank
all
you.
can say that we want to be there.
So it's called Influencer. I made a teaser for it that will be out shortly.
This is the one that's on
I don't know
social
if I'm
media.
gonna cast Mika, but like she's the actress in it currently.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Damn.
Wow.
yeah, I'm excited. So
So that'll
it'll be cool. Yeah.
So are you
And that
gonna
was
do?
the teaser that you were working on in the lab,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Are you gonna be working on a lot of like pre-pro for it?
It's kind of just a Google Doc right now.
Got it.
But
Much respect.
I'm gonna.
It starts that way, though.
So the way I'm approaching this is that I read over Thanksgiving break. I read Stephen King's On Writing. Just because I was having some problems, just like get through writer's block.
Yeah.
And he just says, yo, just write the story. Just if you don't even know where the fuck it's going, just write. Just write fiction, flesh out as much as you want. Write about the character's background. Write about what they're thinking. Do whatever you want. Just write it.
Okay.
So I've just been writing and writing and writing and writing and just trying to get
Good.
a nice background for these characters so then I really understand what they want.
Because you were telling me that you've been trying to write every day.
Yeah, I'm trying to do like 500 words a day. He
Whoa.
does
That's
2,000.
really impressive.
He does 2,000.
I think even 500 a day is really impressive.
I'm not hitting it every day, I'll be honest. But
That's okay. You're at least
I'm trying.
Yeah.
And the story's really coming together. So like my plan is to write it all out like a fiction story, then adapt it into a screenplay,
Okay.
and then start bringing people on board to make it.
Okay.
So that's like kind of the plan right
Wow.
now. But yeah, so I'm excited. That's the big thing that I want to do. Yeah. So you'll be on it. You'll be on it. All y'all can be on it. I need as much help as possible. So yeah, so that's something like summer next semester I'll be doing a lot since I will be less
Oh.
busy. So yeah.
How many classes do you take next semester?
Well, if I want to graduate, I have to take 5. If I don't want to graduate, I'll take 4.
So
So
take
12
4.
credit hours or 15.
So take 4.
So take 4. Stick around. Yeah. So I just thought that'd be a nice little proof of concept for something maybe
Oh, for
bigger, maybe a
sure.
bigger project.
Absolutely.
It's about something related. So yeah, that's what I got. Mitchell,
Guiding. What do you want to do?
what do you want to do?
You know, I have so many things in pre-production. I can't even talk about all
I
of
don't
them.
even know.
There's a lot of
I
there's a
think
lot of money
There
involved.
were, you know, there's just so
Warner
many.
Brothers called me.
Yeah,
Said I
there's
can't talk about it.
there's so many properties. I just don't know if I can let it loose.
Star Wars.
Yeah, but other than all the ones that I can't talk about, my doors are pretty much open.
He's been
open for
holding this
influence.
joke. I can tell. He's been waiting for it.
Open for influence.
Hey.
So you don't have anything planned
Really?
right now?
No,
That's
but
okay.
I
That's
think
okay.
over break, one of my friends from back home,
Blairville.
who also goes to UNL, but
Ah.
isn't a film student.
Connor, right?
Connor Moffat, yes.
I always forget his name.
Wonderful man.
He's very nice.
We would always go out and shoot stuff together.
you gonna go shoot some things?
I think we're gonna make a short film, like a real micro film,
Yeah.
over break, just because we're both in that rut of, you come to film school, it's your first semester, and you feel like you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been there.
And so it's just like, kind of what you were saying. It's like, just put something out
Yeah,
there.
Absolutely.
Just do
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it. We're not
Yes,
sure
yes,
what it
that's
is
cool.
yet,
Yes, Mitchell.
Yes.
but we're gonna do it. And then I think
Do you have any ideas? Any script ideas? Or
we have a couple ideas.
okay.
Not good enough to share.
Yeah,
yet.
no, you're good. You're good.
But
They're
yeah,
there.
I think we're gonna do it. And then over the break, I want to start writing some stuff.
Right. Yes.
I think you'd be a great writer.
I think so too.
Just
you understand so much more than I do,
I
so
feel
you
like
should do it.
Just because it's like, I don't know, if you want to make something, you gotta have it written first.
Yeah.
That's
you
fair.
gotta write
Baby.
it down. You gotta jot it down.
Yeah.
So maybe just write a couple things, and I wanted to get a couple of the other freshmen in, and we want to do like a short film together.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what
so
the
good.
rumblings. You
I
should do
support
that.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
it's just a matter of getting it off the ground and giving it some feet.
Yeah.
Well, and
So-
I've told you, and I've told several of the freshmen this, and I think it's a wonderful idea. But if you guys need any help, I know that you want to keep it contained
yeah.
to the
We
freshman class.
implored
I would
upperclassmen
I would
help on
PA.
ours.
Please
I will
contact
P-
us.
I'm not even kidding. I will PA.
I will fucking go get food for you.
Yeah, I will.
I won't pay for it, but I'll go get it.
I guess I'll keep you three gentlemen in mind. We'll get back to you.
Whoever's shooting, if you need a grip, I can do that.
If
Our
you
people will
need-
get back to your people for sure.
Have your people talk to my people.
If you need
Yeah.
locations,
Yeah.
Oh, that's really important.
you can use the house. You can use the backyard.
Yeah.
You're a
I would love
sweetheart.
to know, dude.
Yeah,
like, I'm
that's
not even
sweet.
kidding. Like, knowing how our freshman film went, and like how, even though it wasn't the greatest experience, like how much I learned and how
Yep.
beneficial it was in the long term in so many ways. I would love to be a part of that in some way for you guys, because we had upperclassmen help on ours, and that was one of the like most helpful things.
There's a selfie going on.
There is a
Sorry,
selfie.
at the table
My bad.
between-
On. But I know that you obviously you're not gonna bring like all the sophomores and juniors, like everyone on.
Just us.
Right, right. But I don't know. I think obviously it's not. I think the beginning idea was to keep it contained, but I think obviously you're gonna need help
some
outside of
yes.
that.
Not saying that you can't do it on your own. I'm just saying it might be a little bit easier if you have
Right.
3 to 4 people that have done this.
Especially since
Yeah.
not all the freshmen want to be a part. Like, there's more than one who want to do editing and like writing.
Yeah,
and
they
all
don't
that
wanna
stuff.
be
So
on
it's like,
set.
Yeah, which
it's-
is fine.
Oh,
yeah, that's-
absolutely.
That's totally fine.
Kind of hate being on set. but,
Yeah.
but I do it.
But it's so it's just a lot of just getting ideas down on paper for me.
Yeah.
you also kind of I don't know if this is a thing, but you kind of mentioned maybe doing like YouTube stuff.
Yeah, we were Well, I
Wow,
think
just
we
encroaching
still-
on the
we
PALS
still
name.
are.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're gonna destroy you subscriber-wise when this comes up.
14 subscribers.
Stealing the
No.
follower base.
No,
More of
the freshman group here, we're getting a YouTube channel in the works.
Yeah.
That's great. I
We
support
like
it.
that.
It's gonna be
you
really
stand.
cool.
I'll let you pimp some ads on this show. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Gotta
Okay,
pay for
cool.
that shit.
$300.
So far, the working title is Film 22, just because
okay.
gonna
Yeah.
graduate in 22.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. We're just gonna figure it
That's
out.
Snappy though. I
dope.
kind
Yeah.
of like that.
And the YouTube thing kind of comes from like all of us feeling the same way first semester. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, we're going to film school and we're learning a
We're
lot
not
of this
doing
stuff,
anything.
and we're not doing anything. We're not putting anything out. So
Taking
it's
theater
like,
classes. Yeah.
so like next semester that's gonna get started too, and it's just a lot of like working up the ideas.
You guys should do it.
So
And
yeah,
I would.
I am on board.
Yeah.
I will be watching.
Same.
I think that you should. We should do a little collaboration with Pals and Film 22.
that'd be pretty interesting.
I think we could do it. I think it'd be a good
cool.
time.
You'd have an all freshman cast here.
Oh.
Spit some ideas.
Oh, okay.
Start
Sounds overwhelming.
storming.
It doesn't overwhelm me.
Yeah, it
That's
does
a
sound
lot of you.
overwhelming.
A lot of
boy.
2000s kids.
Little fucking 2000
never mind.
looking
The fucking
ass.
twins.
Only the 99 freshmen can come along.
Is there any? You?
There's
Just
me.
kinda.
There's a couple.
So I think we've gone through what we're what the next semester's projects is.
Yeah, very
So-
excited. Very exciting.
Yes.
Everyone here. Yeah.
I'm very hungry. Okay, so for the listeners, we definitely plan on going and eating after this.
Oh yeah.
It is-
Wait, what are we getting, guys? What are we getting, guys?
Whoa, yo,
Red Robin?
ooh.
I haven't been to Red Robin in a fat
I
minute.
could do some.
I'd
Well,
be okay with that.
I gotta see about time though.
Yeah, my suggestion was Taco Bell or something like that.
I would
'cause
do
I'm a
something like that,
big
like
Bell
Taco
boy.
Bell.
What do you have
I'm a
going on?
huge Bell boy.
McDonald's.
Francis?
I have to pick Taylor up from work
Oh, at what time?
because we're going to Omaha in like an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
What are you guys doing?
Well, I mean, so she has a flight on Monday because she's going back to Houston.
Oh yeah.
But we're celebrating, not celebrating like Christmas, but just like spending some time in downtown Omaha with like myself, my dad, my little brother, and then my older brother and his fiance. We're just gonna
that's
like
nice.
go get dinner and like kind of hang out and take some pictures and stuff like that. So we're gonna
Oh,
do
that's
that
good.
tonight, and then we have
Really good.
we have another family like Christmas party tomorrow. So we have some stuff. So we have to go
staying with you?
tonight.
Hell yeah. Hey.
What the fuck?
Parents
Nice.
are gonna
Right.
be there, so
Yeah, it's still just seeing how like that dynamic works is cool.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Must be nice.
Yeah. 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 For real. All right, Red Rock or Taco Bell?
We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out.
So,
The
ladies-
listeners need to know.
McD's classic.
I'm a big
Nah, dude.
I would do Taco Bell.
Bell Boys.
Bell Boys.
Bell Boys.
Dude.
Bell Boys.
Bell Boys on 3.
I'm not.
Bell
All right,
Boys
fine.
on
Bell
three.
Boys on 3.
One,
1,
two,
2, 3.
three,
Bell
Bell
Boys.
Boys.
Hey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very special third episode of the Pals Podcast. If you're interested in finding out more about us, go ahead and head to @PalsBeanPals_ on Twitter and Instagram. You can find our shows on YouTube. You can find us on pals.podbean.com. And I'm very happy to announce, and you probably know this if you're a listener already, that our ass is on Spotify.
If you can find it.
If you just type
Oh,
in,
I found it and I followed it.
if you type
found it
in
right
the
away.
Pals Podcast, or if you type in the name of the first episode, it's there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I found
well,
it
there
right
you go.
away.
On
And also-
Spotify.
Yeah, they
You can download that. You got the
download-
premiums.
Yes. And you
Listen to
can
it
follow it.
in your car,
They'll
I
let
love
you
Spotify
know.
Premium.
They'll let you know when there's a new one up.
at your place of occupation,
Oh my God, yes.
anywhere.
So
It sounds like Spotify has way more features than Apple Music.
because it does, Ryan.
Ryan.
Listen, okay, Spotify
Is
not,
better.
is not letting
Thank
me pay
you.
for student anymore. It expired for some reason, so now I have
You have
to
to
go
just you have to redo it.
I tried.
Dude, I had to
I
redo
tried.
it. You call them.
Nah,
With your
Apple
mouth.
Music. Team
With
Apple
your
Music.
mouth.
Team Apple,
What else would
kiss
you call
my
them with?
ass. So, thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of the Palace Podcast. I'll leave you with this. Just remember, remind yourselves every day just to be a little bit happy, to smile a little smile, and remind yourselves that things will get better. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.